Please help yourself, there's plenty of food and more coffee. I'm gonna introduce Kim Casteri. Did you say that or Kim?
Yeah, you're
Success, I guess it wasn't. Success Genie, she's been coaching businesses for years. She kind of recommended to us from the Shoreline Chamber, so thank you for coming to talk with us. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you. Ladies, before I begin, I want to get to some fun stuff. I'm doing a drawing for a genie in a CD, everything you need to know to attract success. So if you'd like to be in the drawing, I'm just going to pass this around, okay? You can look at it and preview it and see if you want to do it. Put your business card in here. If you just want to be in the drawing, just cross off your email. Otherwise, you're inviting me to send you weekly little genie inspirational gems to get that action.
I'm already happy that way. You're getting the gems already, Denise? You're getting the gems?
So good morning. I would like permission to tell you about my friend Kathy. She is looking for your services, and you are lucky enough to be one of the 3 people that she was referred to. How exciting. Now she's going to be looking at your webpage, social media to get a sense if you're the right fit for her. So I have a question. How confident are you that what is on whatever your social media, your website, or LinkedIn states exactly what you do, the way you do it, and reflects your personal best? How many are going, yeah, right? So, and if you're lucky enough to be the one she calls, do you know exactly what to say right after hello to make her feel totally comfort in the presence of the expert that you are? Do I have everyone's attention? Okay. So good morning, my name is Kim Casteri. I am the creator of Success Genie LLC. I'm known as a success mentor and growth coach. And my message is pretty simple: success is your birthright. And our definition of success is peace in your spirit, joy in your heart, profit in your pocket, all at the same time. And for sometimes business owners, that's a kitten, a unicorn, and a fairy all at once. So I have the privilege of teaching people how to grow to 6- and 7-figure revenues. Will not become a burnt-out shell of a human being, enjoying those 3 things. But I want to share with you, it was not always wine and roses getting here. I was not always the polished, confident person that you see here. Many years ago, I was involved in the prime of my life in a very painful car accident. And somehow I have a gift of young men with red lights that they don't see. So it took me on an interesting journey. I was a year out of work and had to go back to work because, you know, everything was going. And for 4 months, I couldn't really walk well by myself, and I was really not having a positive attitude experience. So I had a lot of time in my hands, so I read a lot. The librarian knew my name. And I had, in my readings, I found myself drawn to, I was a Mary Kay baby, so I always had Mary Kay Ash as a personal mentor. But I read like Zig Ziglar, and that's when Tony Robbins had just started to come on the scene. And I just kept on hearing, the more you can help people get what they want, you will get what you want. And that really resonated with me. And then I started my way back in the world in corporate sales, selling phones and pagers. That was funny, but that's what it was. And I went back to corporate knowing nobody. So I was like, how am I going to do this on a straight commission? So I learned, I took these lessons with me and I applied it, and I started networking. And my focus was help people get what they want, even what they want is not me. And I'll eventually hopefully get what I need, and I need to pay the rent in 30 days, so that was the story. So that started my journey, and since then I've had the privilege of speaking to thousands of wonderful entrepreneurs like yourselves, teaching and sharing my secrets of how I built 6 figures, learning how to network. And corporations have invited me to talk with communication. You might know who they are, like United Illuminating, Centrix Dental, the former Bank of New Haven. A lot of big companies have invited me to speak to them, and I've had the privilege of coaching hundreds of people like yourself to 6 figures and beyond, while having fun, while getting things done. So I hope you like what I have to share with you, because I'm going to share you 3 tips on how you can do the same. So let me ask you this. Could you get excited about 80% of your business coming from the phone ringing inbound? Anybody here like cringe at the thought of picking up the phone, calling out? Anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Just to give you a sense, I could call my mother on the phone. Yeah, so I thought she wouldn't remember me. Try to do that in direct sales for all these years. So I'm going to show you for your entertainment pleasure, I'm going to do a David Letterman style countdown. The 3 most common mistakes I have found, I have made, I've seen people make with networking and marketing themselves. And then I'm going to give you the tip and show you what you don't want to be doing, or you want to refrain from no longer doing. And then I'm going to give you action tips so you can get the same results that my clients get. Networking your way to fun, 6 figures, and getting it all done. So mistake number 3 is we fail to have a plan. Even when you're networking, there's more to networking than getting dressed up looking good and just getting out the door. And if you're making this mistake, you're not alone. 80% of the population spend more time planning a 7-day vacation than we do our life, never mind a networking plan. So if you're in that category, have no fear. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why you really wanna get excited about doing a plan. And when you think of a plan, don't think of like a plan longer than my body. It's basically, whom do you want to serve? What is your value to them? And when they get all excited about you, how are you getting invited in? And it can be as simple as that, but the reason why people don't do it is they think they don't have time. They feel pressured, you have goals to meet, you have needs, and you think I just have to get out there. But if you don't know where there is, or they'll say, I can network with anybody, or I can serve anybody. If you go to my Facebook page, I did a whole video, why you don't sell to anybody. There's a reason why we don't. I've never met anybody. I only know that people want to be somebody's, and when you talk to anybody, they don't feel special. So you don't sell to anybody. You might sell to a lot of people, but you don't sell to everybody. So the reason why you do a plan. How many people raise your hand if you want your phone to ring? Okay, just check. The reason why you plan is because you want the phone to ring. And the easiest way to make the phone ring, is to write down what you desire to receive. So it could be on a cocktail napkin, it could be on that little cute napkin underneath the coffee. You just need to write down what you'd like to receive, how you want it to look, what you want it to offer, and how you're going to deliver your basic services. 80% of success and 80% of having people call you or literally walk into a room and meet 5 people and you've been like, I've been looking all over for people like this and I just walk into a room and there they are, is because you write things down. So I challenge you to write things down and watch within 7 days what you write down, you either bump into at all these events that you go to, and you're like, she really is a genius, she wasn't. And or the phone will ring with that exact request coming to you. So number 3, and I'll give you an example of this. One of my clients, she's been with me a year. She was brand new to the community, brand new to our networking group, and she told us who she was, and I was like really excited. And then she heard me get us into a commercial about something similar to this, and she was, I think I need to talk to you. I'm like, okay. And she basically told me what she was doing. I said, do you have a plan? And she goes, no. I said, you don't have a business. And within 3 questions, she was like, you're right, I don't have a business. Like, would you like a business? She's like, yes, let's have a conversation. And all she did, I was like, Chris, you sound amazing, and you sound like you really know what you're talking about. Could you just write it down, like what you want to do for people? And all of a sudden she's like, and then I go, fine, that's a great start. And we haven't done business yet. And then she goes to the next event, she's like, Kim, I wrote it down, it was right there. I'm like, thank you. Now can we start your business? And I'm really excited for her. She's got clients coming out of the game right now. So it's really cool. The second one, and this happens a lot, and I'm going to give you some funny stories that are true. You've experienced them. The biggest mistake we make, and it's natural because we're human beings, is we make our marketing and our networking conversations all about us. And we've all done it. And I know you've done it because you're a human being, and it's what we do. One mistake with that is how many people, who would like to know the secret to becoming the most irresistible person in the room? The person that everyone wants to talk to at every event. Well, if you don't want to know, turn your head. 'Cause I don't want to. The fastest way to become the most irresistible person in the room is get people to talk about themselves. Even when they ask you, what do? You can tell them who you are, but say, well, tell me about you. Because what will happen in that moment, your stock, their affinity for you will just go way, way up. And they will naturally then say, oh my God, I've been talking about myself. Tell me about you. And it's not just with that reflex of just, okay, tell me about you, tell me about me, let's move on, let's talk about me. They will become sincerely interested in what you have to say, and they will have felt served just because you took the time to give them a space to be heard. Mary Kay taught me this. I was fortunate enough to have her as a personal mentor when she was alive when I was in the company. And she used to tell all of us, one of the stories that she would tell, like, if you're like 5 minutes old, you would hear the story, that every person has an invisible sign on their chest or on their back that says, make me feel important. And she taught us it's our job to make whoever we're in front of, whether it be 5 seconds, 5 minutes, whatever, 50 minutes, to feel important. And what individuals most need, every human being needs most, more than money, more than love, more than business, is they have a need to feel heard. And especially in this day and age of information overload and sound bites 30 seconds, if you can create a space, for even 30 seconds, for someone to feel seen and heard, let me tell you, you become the person they want to share everybody with. Because you become one of the most important people, believe it or not, one of the most important people in the world. And when you can do that sincerely in your own wonderful way, they will go out of their way to figure out what you want and how they can help you. Okay, so just think about that the next time you're at a networking event. And these are some of the mistakes that people make when they don't do that. You might have met them. I have a little list, but I kind of forget them off the top of my head. These are I love these people. It's just they're making the mistake of making it all about them and they don't even know it. My wallflowers. Have you ever met them at a networking event? They're like hugging the wall like a suction cup, or they're using their coffee as like a shield because they're just kind of scanning the room, and they're trying to look not obvious because they're afraid that they don't know how to engage, but they're like so obvious and like you don't know what to do with them because they're afraid to come to the wall, away from the wall. Have you ever met a hit and run sniper? They just come up to you literally like, hello, here's my card, here's my card, here's my card, here's my card. And you're like, who is that masked person? And their idea of networking is, if I can get these 20 cards, people are just gonna come talk to me. Yeah, some of them are dangerous, but if they mean well. My personal favorite are the sellers. They think that a networking event or a conversational opportunity is a sales call, and they basically show up and throw it all over you. And it's invite you by right now, like, I think you should buy from me, and this is why, and this is what I am, this is what I do, and I'm so great, and blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, hi there, my name is, my name is Kim. And then you have, these are wonderful people, and they don't know how to work a room. I call these people the Klingons. You say hello, how are you, have a brief little wonderful conversation, and they won't let you go. They're so excited that someone's talking to them, or they got the nerve to talk to you, they don't know how to end the conversation. So I am sure none of you have made any of these mistakes, but you might have seen these photos. So they're well-intentioned, but they are cutting off the opportunity for you to know them or to enjoy their value or experience their value because they're making the conversation all about them. And it's either like you need them or you don't, or you're just off-putting. It's like, hello, I haven't even said hello to you. Like, can you just give me some space to get to see who you are? Let's see what you're doing. So instead, I'd like you to set yourself up to be the expert in the room. And this is the secret to networking your way to 6 figures. It's about building relationships and letting people know without really saying anything about what you do, that you are the expert, the go-to expert for what you do, or just if they have a problem, you're the go-to gal. So at a networking event, I'd like you to imagine, even if it's not yours, that you are the hostess of the event. Has anyone ever hosted their own party? Okay. So as a hostess, if you haven't, it's okay. As a hostess, you make sure you go up to every guest or groups of guests, and you just say, hi, how are you? It's so great to have you here. Are you meeting everybody? Do you need anything? And you can be like, who are you here to meet? Even if you don't know anyone in the room, who are you here to meet? And they'll start to tell you. And you can ask them, people make the mistake of jumping right into business. Say something personal, like, oh, how are you? Where are you from? Do you have family? If you notice something, I noticed a couple of you, I complimented your necklace because I thought that I like bling. Notice I like bling. And I like color. So you just make the conversation about them. Ask them, what they how was their weekend? I know we've had some events like for the World Series or the big Super Bowl. I do not know anything about that, but I know it's important to people around me. So I'll say, are you like a series? Oh no, okay, so you were shopping like me. Oh yes, yeah, I left everyone at home. Yeah. So you make it personal, and you start off with asking them about personal questions about them, and then you just go right into, so tell me what you do and who you do it for, and they'll start to tell you. And by this point, you've broken the ice. You've let them know clearly that you're not a sniper, you're not a Klingon, you're not a settler, you're a helper. And at that moment, something will click, and they'll be like, well, I told you all about me. I told you all about me. Please tell me about you. And that's your opportunity to very strategically set up the relationship. So one of the things I want to share with you, when you go to a networking event, if you're looking at that event as a place only to meet clients, you're missing the boat. Yes, you want clients. I challenge you to walk out of every networking event with 5 or more really meaningful connections. However, there is something more important in that room than clients. You might be going, what are you talking about? Tell me you're the queen that makes help everyone make 6 figures. How do you tell me there's not more and more clients? More important than clients. The relationships in that room will bring you bigger riches than any one client. Remember, I asked who likes the phone to ring 80% of the time? Okay. Where do you think the phone rings from? Relationships in the room. When people say, what you want to do is you want to create relationships that look out for people with the problem that you solve. That happens all the time. I even did this, I have a business mastermind where people work with me, and I had to do my marketing, and always when it's your marketing, your forehead gets erased, right? So the simplest thing is, well, what do you say? You refer me all the time, you refer me all the time, you refer me all the time. What do you say? I'll just do what you say. And they just look at me like, Kim, we just say, go talk to Kim, she'll figure it out. And I'm like, good, okay. And I'm like, great, all right. So I am known anywhere I go in my circles as the expert in the room. If you need a hairdresser, if you need a plumber, if you need an exorcist, I have one on speed dial. No joke, he's a personal friend. You come to me with what you need. I'll know who, and if I don't know who it is personally, I know who to go to find you who you need to know. So I encourage you, when you work a room, to have 3 objectives in mind. Look for resources for you and your clients. Most of my networking, 80% of my networking is not for me, it's to meet people, wonderful people like you, because my clients need more than me, believe it or not. They need a dream team, and many of you are what they need. So it's my job to meet you, get to know you, trust you, like you, so I feel comfortable introducing you to them because they're like, can you make my life easier? Because I give them who they need. And the other thing is, I love to build relationships because whether you ever work with me or not, I want you to know me and like me and trust me enough to refer me when you feel the need arises. And yes, I always love accepting new clients when they're ready to work with me. So this is a very plan. Remember I told you a plan? There you go. If you have that focus in mind, 5 connections, and you have a coffee chat afterwards. You may have a meeting. If you don't have a meaningful connection, you talk for 5 minutes, find out about them, exchange business cards if you feel like there's somebody that you want to get to know. And if there's a meaningful connection, invite them for a coffee chat within 3 to 5 days after the event, and that's where you have a 30-minute. You have 15 minutes to talk about them, talk about you, how can you collaborate, maybe you want to bounce ideas off of each other. Magical things have come up with a coffee chat. You know, I've done, if you can do 30 coffee chats in a month, believe me, your cash flow problems are gone. You have more clients than you know what to do with. You have relationships and resources going everywhere. But let's say it's just a nice connection, they're lovely, you want to move on, you really shouldn't be more than 5 minutes at a networking event. If there's more to say, you really need to go to a coffee chat, because you're the hostess of the room. Isn't it? If you were hosting your own party, would you stay a half an hour with 1 or 2 guests and ignore the other 30? No. So what you can do, let's say the wonderful person, they're really great, they're competent, but they're a cleaner. Right? You're like, they're afraid you leave it. I finally got someone to talk to me, and you're nice, and you're not like yelling at me or spitting at me or kicking me, and like, I don't want to leave you. So you're like, and you know, because they're literally holding onto your arm. So what you might say is, who would you like to meet? Tell me more about you. Who would you like to meet? Who would be a great connection for you? You don't say who would be a good client, who's a great connection for you. You're like, oh, well, maybe villagers or whatever. Great, why don't you come with me? I'm gonna go make some introductions to my personal needs. And if you know people in the room, great. If you don't, just take this person and be the hostess of the party and say, hi, may I make some introductions? Hello, so-and-so and so-and-so, so-and-so. Get a little conversation going. Okay, great, you're all set. And you basically just zigzag. All right? If you don't zigzag, you look like a hit-and-run sniper. Okay, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. All right. So, give you an example of this. One of our chamber members in Milford, he was new, he's from the Midwest, new to the chamber. We met for coffee chat, because I've been ambassador for many years, and I said, why don't you sit down, tell me what your business is, who you need to meet. Great. So at the end of the coffee chat, he's like, you know, I need you. We need to talk about how you can help me. And so he became a client. But one of the things I taught him was to do exactly what I just told you to do. He was brand new. He's a locksmith. Whenever you need a locksmith, he's your guy. So basically, he attended the chamber events, acting like the host of the party, and just touching base, introducing himself. He was amazed. He's like, Kim, I walked out with 10 meaningful, like, these are people I would love. I would have been cold calling forever. I just did what you said. And I have 10 contacts. I love this. He goes, I'm more of a farmer anyway, because I'm Midwest. He goes, I'm more of a farmer. I like to plant seeds and relationships. So it was a very comfortable way for him, because he was all nervous, like, oh, I don't know how to be in the community. I'm not from here, whatever. So it really helps when you look at a networking event like your own party, and you want to touch base with everybody, have a meaningful 3 to 5 minute conversation if there's a connection. So, you know, it sounds like we have a lot in common, or we should really do some synergy. May I call you this week for a cup of coffee? And they'll be like, I was gonna say no, right? So that is how you correct the mistake of making it all about you. I'll give you an extra tip. Would you like an extra tip on this? Sure. All right. Go look at your LinkedIn page. Go look at your Facebook page if you have one. Go look at your website. I want you to go check if it has I-itis all over it. I-itis. I. Me. Okay? No one wants to hear about you until you tell me what you can do for me. Once I know what you can do for me, you can talk about you all you want. And I speak all about you, I write all about me, and then I gotta go, okay, yeah, all about me, and then I just flip the pronouns. So there's a way, I'm not a copywriting expert, and I have those people if you need them, and there might be wonderful people in the room. You need to speak to only one thing: their problem. Their problem. And it's the problem that you solve best. Okay? I can solve the problem getting you a plumber. No, I don't know how to fix your sink. You know, yes, I can get you a hairdresser. I cut hair, but only my own. Okay, but I can get you to solutions. And that's who you want to be in the networking world. Be willing to get people to solutions, even if the solution's not you. But on your website, on your LinkedIn page, all you need to talk about is the problem they're having and the benefits they get, or the solution, and how great it feels when they work with you. Okay? I have more to say about that, or you can ask me, I'll give you guys an invitation at the end to hear more about that, like, how do I do that? But I'm telling you the tip. You have to get rid of I-itis. And if you're a human being, you were born with I-itis. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing in a lot of ways, but not in marketing and not in networking. So my first tip, my first mistake, the biggest mistake that people make, and it's the one if you are wanting, you're saying, not that I resemble these remarks, Kim, but these tips are really helpful, I really thank you. And you want to flip the switch. The number one mistake people make with networking and marketing in the intention to attract clients is they don't begin the journey with a win-win mindset. Okay? And I seem to attract a lot of givers, and I find a lot of networkers are givers, and that's great, but networking is about two things: giving and receiving. Relationships are about giving and receiving. Marketing is about giving and receiving. So if you're a giver who can't receive, that's not a win-win. Okay, because now you're robbing the other person of giving too. If you're like, well, Kim, I might not be the biggest giver in the world, well, givers gain, especially in networking. If you're looking to show up and get fed all the time and you're not willing to give anything back, it doesn't create a win-win reciprocity relationship. Not everyone's ready to buy from you on the spot when they meet you at hello, right? I've had people I've known for years, haven't worked with me professionally, they refer so much business to me, or when I'm having a bad day and I want to quit my life and go, work, at somewhere like, I don't know, where coconuts grow, and I'll be like, hey, what's going on? I want to talk about you because I'm sick and tired of talking about me. I've been talking about me to the wall all day. And they're like, okay, let's have lunch, let's have coffee. And 5 minutes with them, I'm out of it, or we come up with a great idea, or we bounce ideas off of each other, or we have some wine and cheese, and we bring our own wine and we just share cheese and crackers. These are relationships that I could have never bought. And when you take on clients, you want to feel like each of you got the better end of the deal. Have you ever worked with a client you really didn't enjoy? Anybody? Yeah, I don't do that. And then have you ever taken on a client that in hindsight they weren't really ready, not that you did anything wrong, not that you were wonderful, that they weren't wonderful, but they really weren't ready for the work that they signed up for? Have you ever had that experience? Yeah. The way to make networking fun, get it done, and create a quick, fun, fast 6 figures is having a win-win mindset. And that's very difficult for business people, because we're under stress, we've got a lot to do, and we just feel like it's all about go, 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 make the money, row, row, row. So, give you an example of this, and it's a combination of win-win mindset and making the conversation all about you. One of my clients who was with me for many years, we call him Madonna, because every couple of years he'd reinvent himself, he'd get a new idea, he'd want to change his thing, but he was in textile management for most of this time. And he was always behind the desk, so he was always getting calls from vendors. And so one day he decided, and we were working on his dream and what success looked like to him and how he wanted to make his next 6 figures. He announces, he goes, Kim, I'm gonna do chemical sales, because the chemicals and textiles. And I was like, and he's a great guy. He's the most awesome guy. He's the most awesome manager and people person. And I'm like, and then I go, okay, what kind of sales? He goes, well, direct sales, only, like straight commission. And I was just like, really? I'm like, Joe, you ready to come on my side? He's like, yeah, I want to try it out. I'm like, okay, it's a roller coaster, you know that, right? He's like, yeah. So he's all excited, and I'm like, okay, we'll put that together into his job, a couple weeks, and he gets on the call with us, and I'm like, and he's always happy and upbeat. And I'm like, how's it going, Joe? He goes, not so good. And I'm like, what's the problem? He goes, no one wants to talk to me. I can't get appointments. I'm like, what you doing? And he told me what he was doing. And I'm like, Joe, who's it about? And he goes, what do you mean? I'm like, you were the guy on the other side of the desk. When you heard what you came out of your mouth on your side of the desk, what did you do? He goes, oh yeah, I tried to get rid of him. Just get rid of him. He goes, oh yeah. I'm like, welcome to my world. I know. So I said, where's the win-win relationship? Like, why did you have a right, like you said, would say to your vendors, why do you have a right to take 15 minutes of my busy day? He goes, oh. He goes, you have a point there, okay. So he goes, well, I have 30 years of experience being them. He goes, I know the problems they're having and I can fix them. I'm like, oh, why don't you start with that when you say hello? My name is Joe Schroeder. And he goes, okay, I'll try it out. Calls me back, he goes, I got 10 appointments. I'm like, really, what'd you do? He goes, I just told them who I am and how I can help. And they're like, come on in. And I'm like, imagine that, Joe. And the really significant thing with that is textile managers never let you get further than their office. They don't let you behind. He was getting invited. He was like, you having this problem. He goes, how'd you know? He goes, I've been here for 30 years. He goes, why don't you show me? I can probably fix it for you while I'm here. Or just show me. They would invite him to the floor to walk around and fix it. Like, he's like, oh yeah, just do this and that. And then they'd come back and they'd sit a little bit longer and he'd walk out with his orders. And he's like, this is fun, Kim. I'm like, yeah. So the way that you start your journey is you gotta have a win-win. If you don't have a win-win, don't open your mouth. Basically what I'm saying to you. And you wanna open your mouth because people need you. So part of the win-win is knowing your value. So remember when I asked you the question, does your LinkedIn page, does your website, does it really clearly and compellingly, in a concise manner, state your value to them? Because networking is about, the win-win is knowing your value, knowing exactly what makes you so great. And there is something great about you, just you. What makes you the expert go-to person in your business, right? What is it? What's the secret in your sauce? And it's not your process, and don't talk, everyone wants to talk about your process and how you're gonna massage them and love them and do this. They don't care about that. They just wanna know who you are, what problem you solve better than anyone else, and this is what they really wanna know. What's the juicy benefit that they get in sitting down and spending 5 minutes with you, never mind 5 years with you? I've had clients work with me for 10 years in a row because we keep on creating a new juicy benefit all the time. But even if it's 5 minutes, you can change someone's life in 30 seconds. Did you know that? Just by having the win-win mentality, just by going to a networking event like this, saying to yourself, I'm gonna make a difference in someone's life today. I'm gonna make someone feel important. I'm gonna go find great resources for my clients. I'm gonna go find resources for myself, right? As a business owner, does anyone here have needs? I have needs. I don't do everything myself. Actually, I only do a few things well. The rest is up for grabs. So I'm always looking for people to make my life easier, right? And allow me to go make my money. So the secret is to know your value, know that success is your birthright. I don't care what's going on in your life right now. The coffers are a little bit low, the kids are cranky, the spouse, you don't know what you're doing with them yet, burying them in the backyard or letting, I don't know. I'm Italian and Armenian, we do that. I'll take you up later, right now you're aggravating me. So it doesn't matter, maybe things are going great, you're in the biggest growth cycle of your life, and that can be fun and stressful too. Success is your birthright. What does that mean? You're entitled to, it's your birthright. Peace, joy, profit, all at the same time. If you're not experiencing that, you probably don't have a plan for it. You're probably making it all about you, when the secret to peace and joy is go have fun and go serve others, right? Go play with others. And or you don't have an abundance mindset. So there's only two mindsets that you can have. You're either in abundance, where everything's working out in your favor, even when everything's going sideways, there's something good in here somewhere, or you have blessings overflowing and you can't just enjoy anything and nothing's working right, and it doesn't matter if everything you want and the fairy and the unicorn show up, you're like, it's not good enough. All right, if you're living in that, no matter where you go, it's not good enough. So you really have to know every day, when you put your feet on the floor, where are you standing? Because wherever you stand is what you're gonna see, and whatever you see is what you're gonna be. Does that make sense? All right. So my intention here is to share with you 3 ways that you could be seen as the go-to expert, be the most irresistible person in the room, and start your journey into making 6 figures. Did I complete that promise? Okay. So I apologize because I realize I may have created a new problem.
We can fix it.
We can fix it. We can fix it. That I may have left you hungry for a little more. I might have left you having questions, going, Kim, I'd like to know more about that. So I have 2 things for you. We just got done, and I'm happy to answer any questions while I'm here. We just got done with a very fun 5-day challenge, and I do them like twice a year, sometimes 3, where I come up with a component that is related to your success, and we break it down into 5 steps, and we do it in 5 days, and I have prizes, and it's a lot of fun. And we just finished, and they just had their deadline if they wanted to get all the training online. I put everything up free for 5 days, and they do it, but then they have an option, if they didn't get to do it or they want to do it again, they get to invest in all the training that is up on the website. And it just ended yesterday, but if you guys want it, I'm sharing this with you. You can go on today and get the same opportunity they did. Basically, it's a 5-video tutorial plus some extra bonuses on how to do what I just said. How to create and become your own client attraction magnet. Figure out who you serve, who you are, what's the problem you solve better than anybody else. I'm actually coaching you in the training. And what's the juicy benefit you create for them over and over again, and how to say it in a way that in 10, 15 seconds they go, really? Tell me more. I want to know more about you. So that's available to you if you want it. Go to that website, put yourself on the list. It'll ask you, do you want forever access to the trainings? You say yes, it'll take you a little shopping cart. So that's for you. The top is for you. You can look at that. And even if you don't want to do Kim, I don't need the trainings, but I'd love to be on your list, you can put yourself on that list and you'll get a free cheat sheet from today. I offer a little template for you to do what I said today. And for those of you who are like, Kim, you're a little crazy, but I like you. And I think I need to have a private conversation with you. Because I like the idea of attracting clients, and I didn't catch everything you said, but I'd love to learn. I would like you to fill out the bottom portion. Okay, that's basically telling me that you would like me to invite you to a 30-minute private free strategy session, clarity session, to talk about whatever is going on in your world that you think I can help you with. So if you would like that opportunity, you just fill out the bottom and you hand it to me, and I know you would like me to schedule a personal strategy session with you. And if you're in here, don't worry, you'll go into my list to receive my Genius Gems. So this is just to stay connected. This is like, Kim, I would love some training, I love your videos, or you know what, I don't know if I want your videos, but I definitely want to talk to you, okay? Any questions for me before I pick a lucky winner? Any questions? Yes?
I just want to tell you something really funny.
Okay.
So
I like funny, I like
I do a
funny.
lot of networking, and I've never